Mind over matter. Is it real? I'm Hale Brownlee, a strange mix of engineer, scientist, author, and energy healer. At age 7, I gave up on religion and didn't believe in anything I couldn't see, touch, or measure. What changed my mind and got me interested in mind over matter? Well, I blame it on this little Japanese man here in the middle. In 2005, I was practicing Aikido, and this 80-year-old guy who could barely walk up the stairs to the dojo threw me around on the mat like I was nothing. I tested him, standing firmly planted so he couldn't use my momentum against me. I grabbed his extended hand with both of mine and held firmly. He simply turned over his palm, and I went flying. Now that shouldn't have happened, but it did. And I was left with two questions. How was this possible? And if this is possible, what else is? Shortly thereafter, I watched the movie What the Bleep Do We Know? It talks about scientific experiments that investigate mind over matter effects. Down the rabbit hole I went, meeting with scientists, researching, and experimenting. The more I uncovered, the stranger it got. And I emerged as this crazy science guy, living in a reality where the mind can affect the physical world around it. Wherever I looked, the evidence was overwhelming. For example, let's talk about spoon bending. In The Matrix, the spoon boy teaches Neo how to bend spoons with his mind. Yeah, that's a movie, but is there any truth to it? Well, there is a real-life spoon boy. And check out the resemblance. Just imagine him a little bit older. Over 8,000 people have attended Jack Hawk's spoon bending parties, and about 85% of them have had metal bending experiences. Something might be going on here, so I decided to try it out. First, some basic spoon physics. When you hold a spoon at the green arrows and apply force, it should bend at the red arrow, right? Because that's the weakest point. So how does something like this happen? I was holding this spoon by the ends. All of a sudden, it relaxed and bent. It should have been at the green arrow, but instead it bent at the red. How did I manage to bend the spoon in the wrong place? It still puzzles me. Speaking of things that make my brain hurt, do you get headaches? Do you think they are real, like a cut or a bruise, or are they all in your mind? Well, science states that they are real, typically caused by physical tension or chemical imbalances in the brain. Studies also show that stress contributes to headaches. But is stress real? Simply imagining a stressful situation can cause the release of steroid hormones in your body. Now that's mind over matter in action. So if stress can cause headaches, can relaxation heal them? 22% of participants in a study reported their headaches much improved after guided visualization. Studies have even shown that praying for loved ones helps them heal faster compared with control groups, even when the subjects did not know they were being prayed for. It seems highly improbable, but I have seen it work. So let's talk about probability. If you flipped a coin 10 times, you would expect around 5 heads and 5 tails, right? The graph shows the ratio of heads to tails for 10,000 coin flips. The gray area represents a 95% probability. And as expected, the lines are within it most all the time. The folks at Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research built a quantum-based random number generator. Instead of heads or tails, it generates zeros and ones. They ran over 300,000 trials where volunteers intended the machine produce either more zeros or more ones. When no intention was sent, the machine behaved as expected, the green line on the graph. However, when the volunteer intended more ones, red, or more zeros, blue, the data somehow skewed in the direction of the volunteer's intention. Cool, huh? So what can you do with it? Well, I want to win the Powerball lottery. Let's take a look at what it would take to do that. The good news is the formula for intention effects based on population size involves a square root. Since there are around 318 million people in the US, statistically significant effects should start showing up with as little as 18,000 people concentrating on the numbers. Imagine what would happen if 18,000 people won the Powerball. It could get millions of people questioning what is real and bring about a major shift in consciousness. I'm gathering the people required, and you can make a difference. So join the Powerball experiment today.